start over. And so let me ask this question one more time. Hold on a second. It's not Monday, is it?
Is it Monday?
We don't want to start the week over, I promise.
Is it?
Okay.
Now it's Wednesday.
Now, all right. So, what are some attributes of triangles? We remember what triangles are, and we know what tri means. We said it means three. But what are some attributes of triangles? Yeah.
3 corners.
3 corners. Valerie, what's another one? 3 corners. What else does it have? 3 angles and 3 sides. Okay. So you can close your workbook for now and push it to the corner if you'd like, just to kind of push it out of your way. If you don't even like it there and you need to tuck it in your desk or backpack for right now, that's fine. All right. So we said our 3 attributes, our main attributes, are the corners, the sides, and the angles. Okay. So I also said, hey, we're going to explore some triangles. Okay. So if I were asking you to do that, okay, and I asked you to search for templates, and this is what I thought was in your book, and it wasn't, but here we are. Okay. These 3 templates. So these are the triangles we're going to be looking at. And if you're going to be looking at these templates, and if you're going to be thinking about, the attributes we just mentioned, what kind of tools might you need to explore these triangles and kind of learn a little bit more about them? Do you need anything? No, we know it all. We're not going to need anything. What are you going to need, though? What? Possibly a protractor. Why, though? What made you say protractor? Okay, we mentioned 3 angles, so maybe we would need a protractor. What did you say? Possibly a ruler, because, well, we might need a straight edge. May need to measure. And I know that some protractors have the ruler part on the bottom, and that might be enough. But then again, it might not be. Some of these triangles are pretty big. And that protractor ruler is only so big. So, all right. So for a few minutes, I'm going to hand you those 2 tools. The protractor, a ruler. Okay. And I want you are going to use your book. We are going to use a different page this time. Okay. Let me put that page up on the board because I want to be real clear about what part of this we're doing and what part we're not doing. Okay. Let's see. We're going to be right here. But we are not necessarily... Yeah, okay. Making sure that their directions are similar to mine. Okay, so this is on page, probably so, yeah, no, 67. Turn to page 67 in your workbook. I just told you to put it away, didn't I? Lovely to see you today. Smile my way through it. All right, page 67. 67. It should look like a big old chart. Okay? And you see that word attributes, don't you? Okay, it is there. All right, and all attributes are characteristics. Okay? So, what does the first thing say? Okay, Reagan, what does it say? Sketch of triangle. Okay. Now, we know that a triangle has a basic shape to it, but they can be different, can't they? Not every triangle is the same. And so this is just a very quick, hey, look, I need your eyes right now. Okay? You don't need to be doing anything else right now. Okay? This sketch, I'm not using my ruler, I'm not measuring anything. This is a quick, okay? because you want to just do that quick sketch to help you remember what it looks like on the template. Okay? So, well, that letter's in the way. Just draw it around the letter, because you see how the letter's in the middle of the triangle here? Okay? All right. So you do that, but then here, that is the only box right now that I want you to worry with. I know that over to the right, it says classification, all that. Ignore that for now. Okay? So for right now, we don't have to do anything except the attributes box and the quick sketch. Now we'll come back to this later and you'll understand what goes here later. We're just not there yet. Okay? So here, now what does it say? Brandon, what does it say for, don't X this out. You're going to need it later. Don't draw that. I did that so you will know not to do it right now. All right, attributes. Brandon, what does it say in parentheses here?
Include sovereigns and angle measures.
Oh, so you are going to need that ruler and that protractor. Okay, in the time that I give you, I want you to see if you can get these measured. Okay, so if it says triangle A, let me find triangle A. It is right here. Okay, so triangle A kind of looks like this. There's my quick sketch. It took me 1.5 seconds to do that. Okay, my attributes. Okay, well, I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to measure the sides, y'all. All right, so I don't have my glasses on. ZX, so line ZX, remember how we did that, is a little bit more. It's actually 4 3/4 inches long. Okay. If your centimeters land on more of a whole number, you can do that. So I'm going to erase that. It's easy not to drop something when we're not doing anything. Anything right here and drop one. Alright, it's 12 centimeters. Then I'm going to move to the next side. Then I'm going to move to the next side. Then I'm going to use my protractor. And I'm going to measure this angle. Okay, so, and it's okay to use just one letter for the angle. Angle, remember that little symbol that means angle? Angle Z is, I wasn't lining it up right until I started paying attention. I'm going to put my protractor where it needs to go, and I'm going to measure that 60 degrees. Then I'm going to measure the next angle. Because I know that with each triangle, I'm going to have 3 sides, and I'm going to have 3 angles, right? Okay, I'm not going to do every one of them right now just because I want you to get started. Okay. Now I may start some of you with triangle A. I may start some of you with the other triangles just so that we have a few of us getting each angle taken care of or triangle taken care of. I don't know if you'll have time to get to every triangle. We're going to just get as many as we can. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring the templates to you, but your chart is in your book. So you'll need your chart. You'll need your pencil. Okay. And I am going to put you with somebody to work with. Listen carefully. Here's that person to work with. We're all here today. So. Okay, I'm hurrying to get you. Yeah, hurry before I call them. Okay, Martin, you're working with Faye. Bailey with Valerie. Will with Gage, Mason with Alex, Ishmael with Isabella, Caleb with Kennedy, Charlotte is working with Jayla. Raise your hand if I didn't call you. Okay, Reagan worked with Brandon. Okay. Okay, now I've got to give you your template, so I need one of those people to come to me because you're going to share the template. Okay, one of those people come to me. Okay, go. Go. Make sure your masks are on. Go. Okay. I've already handed it to your partner. Don't be up here. Okay. All right, I need one of you to come get the ruler and one of you to come get. Let me say that again. One of you to get the ruler and the protractor. The person that did not get the papers needs to come and get those. If your partner is up here, please do not be up here. Now, you have one ruler, you have one protractor. All right, let's take turns at those. Don't always do the protractor, don't always do the ruler. Take turnabout with those, okay? So that everybody's getting some experience with those. Mason, you'll have to start with the last one. Can y'all do that? Was it F? Okay, start with the last one. All right. Ishmael, can y'all start with the last one also? Okay. If y'all will do that, that will help. Reagan, can y'all jump to the middle and start there? Start with like D. No, D. Okay. Alright, guys, work with one triangle at a time, okay? Or talk about it so that This is not okay. Listen, stop. You don't need to be doing your own thing and you doing your own thing. You need to talk and you need to work together. Okay. So guys, you're gonna have a lot in those boxes. You're gonna have 6 things. 3 side measurements and 3 angle measurements. Okay, you have a lot in that box. Y'all need to be talking with each other. She doesn't need to be doing totally different things than you. Okay, y'all need to be on the same time. And I would write a whole lot smaller. You've got to get 6 things in the box. 3 angle measurements and 3 sides. Y'all need to be working on the same triangle. Let me just say that. Okay? You're going to have to take turns with it. Okay? It take a little longer that way, but that way your work is not so spread out. Okay?
Yeah, one measuring I have 17 centimeters for O, and then Q2 centimeters. Are you measuring? You already did that slide.
Or take turns with the angles. Ishmael, take turns measuring. Let's see that. Are y'all okay? Y'all got all three angles? 6.
I don't know how to use it. Yeah, it's an angle. So short. So you do like a. Round it. You gotta round it.
I don't know what that means. Just do angles with one letter. Just call it angle. I think right now that'll be simpler for everybody. It is okay for today to name these angles with one letter, the one that's right at the center of the angle, so we don't get confused. Okay? Because sometimes that's how they're labeled. measure something, both of you write it down. Measure something, both of you write it
It's 17. We did this one. We did this one. I can't even see Mark. Yeah, oh yeah.
But make sure, before you go on a new triangle, you have all 6 things. All the lines, measure, all that, right?
If you don't. You read.
Okay, we don't have much longer, so let's. Huh? Which one is
It's not all day. It was
That's not working together. Okay? And it's not okay. You measure something and you tell both of you, and both of you write it down right now. So you've got to get it. You measure something and you tell him what you got, and you both write it down at the same time. Okay? This should not be full and this empty. Somebody's not doing something they're supposed to be doing. Okay? Alright, when I come back around, this is gonna look very different and sound very different. I have a question, guys. I need you to ask it. I can't help it if you don't ask it.
Are you not going to? Okay. So, let's go. That will I'll be you, but you said I'll stop So R N G K G Then go on to start back and straight and go up. So like this. Alright, we're gonna work for about 2 more minutes, guys. I got
You just put it in, on the bottom of your stack. I can start another one. You may not get it finished, but you can pick which one.
No, that's fine. You got it. Oh, no, it is.
Right, we're working together. Good. All right. All right, I'm going to stop you right here just because we started late by finishing our little project at the beginning of class. So I need this to happen. If one of you would get the protractor and ruler, if the other would get the templates in a stack. Okay, right now I just need the ruler protractor people to come to me and let's put those things away. Here's where the rulers go, protractors here.
It looks kind of confusing, but I don't know how to do it easily.
Okay, how about, okay, go ahead and stick those in there. Alright, if you have the templates, just for right now, keep them with you at your desk. You can just put them, and you're going to go back to your own desk. If you got a wobble chair, I need it under the table where it goes. Okay. Alright, so I think we could see, I need your eyes, guys. We've got to move a little faster. Okay, who is over here that needs to fix this? Exploring a triangle with a ruler and protractor takes a little bit more than what some of us were thinking, I think, to begin with. You can just lay those on your desk right now, okay? All right, there's a lot to figure out. Tell me some things you learned by, what did you measure and find out about some of these triangles? What's one thing?
We found 90-degree angles.
You did find a 90-degree. Okay, so a triangle can have a 90-degree angle in it. All right, anything else you discovered about any of the triangles that you worked with? Yeah? Got a 90-degree? Okay. Anything else? Yeah? Some of the angles were acute. So triangles can have acute angles too. What? You found an acute angle. What did you find?
I found
Get your book out.
triangle. I found a perfect triangle with all the sides of 20. I mean, all the we measured it and we centimeters on the side.
The length of the side. Get your book out because we're not done with it. Okay. So you're saying, we're talking about angles, but we're also talking about the length of the side. So, all the sides are the same length. What triangle was that? Do you remember? Was it A?
Yeah.
Anybody else measure A and you found the same thing? The length of the sides were the same? Okay. Anything else we discovered? All good, interesting things. Yeah.
We were super close to 20 degrees with about 19 and 9 tenths.
Okay. All right. All right. I wanted you to take some time to do this because what we're doing today is talking about attributes of triangles. Okay. Let's go back to that triangle that we were looking at. And again, not a perfect one up here, but that's okay. Now, when you say a perfect triangle, we don't usually call a triangle perfect, but what do you mean by that? Okay. What do you mean by that?
Triangle, I mean by like it's all sides are the same.
Okay, all sides are the same. Did you know that a triangle that has all sides the same length has a special name? Okay, and it is called, and let me move that because that one is not. Woo, that is really thick there. Let's, an equilateral triangle, and when you see that symbol, that does mean triangle. They will actually draw a little triangle if they're just making the symbol. So an equilateral triangle, what do you hear in that word? Equilateral. What do you hear? You hear that word, it has the same root as the word equal, doesn't it? Okay? And so all the sides are the same length. Okay? So length, sides, I'm just going to write this in a short way. Okay? Sides are equal. All right. Well, what about the angles? Did you measure the angles? What did you get when you measured the angle?
60.
Every time? And so the angles are the same size too. So it's interesting. Triangles have some neat attributes about them. All right. We have equilateral triangles, but is that true for every triangle we ever see? No. Okay. All right. And then sometimes we have a triangle that might be like this. You know, where you definitely can see, hey, one side is way longer. Okay. Did anybody find a triangle where maybe just two sides were the same? Which one? Anybody else do E? I know not many people got there. When you measured the sides, were two of them the same? All right, so here comes a word we're not very familiar with. In fact, I got to check myself on the spelling because All right. And isosceles. Y'all say that. Isosceles. Isosceles triangles, only two sides are the same length. Okay? So two sides are equal. Now, hold on just 1 second. When we say sides, we're not talking about angle measurement. We're not talking about degree. We're talking about the length. What is it?
So the sides on the triangle are the same, but the bottom is the smallest part.
Could be smaller. Could be longer. Okay. All right. Did anybody measure a triangle? What were you going to say? Okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to the angles in just a second. Really, we're more talking about the sides right now. But did anybody measure a triangle and none of the sides were the same? None of the sides were the same. What letter was it? No?
C.
Okay. You think C? What did y'all? Let me get them in front of me. Hold on. All right. You said what? All right. These sides were different. Did anybody measure C? I was trying to kind of make sure we had all started in different spots, but I'm not sure if anybody got to C. When I look at C sides are all different. Now this is a different word for us as well. And you pronounce that scalene. All right, say scalene. Just a few different words we're not used to. Everybody say this word. All right, let me say it first. Equilateral. Okay. Isosceles. Scalene. All right, so when we get these new words, we need to, especially when they look that different, we need to make sure we know how to say them. Scalene triangles, no sides are equal. Now it might look close, but none of the sides are the same length. Okay, so that's one way to classify triangles by their side lengths. Okay, there are other ways to put triangles in groups, and that's by their angles. All right, now Reagan has told us more than once, I think, there was a right angle. All right, which one had the right angle that you found?
E and D.
Okay, she's saying E and D. Did anybody agree with that measured E or D? Did you get 90 degrees when you measured that? Okay, so what do we call an angle that has that is 90 degrees? What do we call it? Yeah, a right angle. So that triangle is called a right triangle. Now, let me ask you something. I want you to think about triangles for just a second. Could you have more than one 90-degree right angle in a triangle? Could you have more than one? Could two of them be right?
No, because
The two ends would never come together, would they? Because they'd have to be perpendicular, and then that would make those lines unparalleled. Okay? Yeah, you can only have one right angle in a triangle. Let me tell you something else that's really neat about a triangle. Since we're talking about their angles, every single triangle, no matter the size, no matter the shape, no matter, if it's any of these, every angle inside of it is equal to 180 degrees. If you measure all three angles and add them together, they are equal to 180 degrees. Okay? No matter the size of the triangle, no matter the type of triangle, the angles inside of a triangle are equal to 180 degrees when you add them together. Okay? So if one of the angles here is 90 degrees, the other two both have to be acute and add up to the other 90 degrees. Okay? All right, so we've got right triangles. Well, there are two other types of triangles. Okay? Can you have, I just kind of gave this away, but can you have acute angles in a triangle? Y'all said you found them, right? All right, so when you have what we call, let me make this just a little bit smaller so we'll fit everything on there. Okay. When all of the angles are acute, you have an acute triangle. All right, let me find an example of one of those. All right, look at A. Several of you did A. What was the measurement you got on all of those angles? What was the measurement you got on all of those angles? You told me more than once. They were all what? No, not the length. They were all 60 degrees. 60, 60, and 60. Huh. 60 times 3 is how much? 60 times 3. Okay. Remember all the angles inside a triangle equal 180 degrees? 60, 60, and 60. They're all acute. That triangle A was an acute triangle. All of the angles are acute. Okay. Now, there's one, well, I don't know. Can you have an obtuse angle in a triangle?
Yes.
Did you see one? Can you see one right now?
It's
Look at C. Does it have an acute?
it's
Yeah, it has two acute, but it also has an obtuse. Look at, anybody do F? Look at F up here. Okay. An obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle. I don't know if we have to say one, but it has an obtuse angle. One obtuse angle. It can't have two. because then we would get over 180 degrees, and you don't go over 180 degrees inside of a triangle. Okay, so there is all of our new findings today about triangles. Okay, that you can have an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal, an isosceles triangle, where two sides are equal, a scalene triangle, no sides are equal. A right triangle, those are pretty easy to spot. One of the angles is a right angle. Acute triangle, all of the angles are acute. Obtuse triangle, one of the angles is obtuse. Those are pretty easy to spot too. All right, we're going to watch something for just a second, just to help us remember this. There we go. This is not very long at all, especially if it doesn't start. Ooh, this is lagging bad. Sorry. Hold on just a second. Maybe when it starts, it'll do better. All right, let me turn this. Hold on. Okay.
Isosceles triangles have two equal sides. Like this mountain we're about to climb. And since one angle's over 90 degrees, an obtuse triangle is what we see. If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle. If the length is equal on every side, say it's equilateral like this road sign. And since every angle's less than 90 degrees, an obtuse triangle it will also be. If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle. Skateboard ramps are your scene, with three different sides, they're called scalene. That triangle would also be called right, if a 90-degree angle is inside. If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle.
There are two ways to classify triangles, by their sides and their angles. Like sails out on the high seas, can't be right or isosceles. Oh, look at the foot of this goose. It's scalene and obtuse. When you break the pool balls with the cube, they're equilateral and acute.
If you add up every angle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle.
All right. Yeah, it's a short one. All right, we're not wanting to do second grade math. Let's go back where we were. Okay, so we'll put this in front of us for a few days so we can get that in our mind. Okay. But there are all of our attributes. Now, like the song was saying, I can look at a triangle, you can look at a triangle, and we can give it two different attributes. We can give it an attribute by its sides and by its angles. Okay? Like, let's look at triangle A. Well, everybody doesn't have it in front of them, just kind of forget. Triangle A right here. We said that all of the angles were acute. So if all of the angles are acute, it's a what?
No.
These are about angles. These are about sides. If all of the angles are acute, it's what kind of triangle? It's an acute triangle. But all of the sides are equal length. So it's also equilateral. So this is an acute equilateral triangle. it has two things. Okay, it's an acute equilateral triangle. They showed the skateboard ramp in the song. It had a right angle, right? So it was a right triangle, but it also was scalene because none of the sides were the same length. So it was a scalene right triangle. Okay. Some triangles, most triangles will have both, one for the one attribute for the angles and one attribute for the sides. Okay. All right. I'm looking at our time. Let's pause here. Take our restroom break. We're a little later than we normally are, but I know we need to do this. We will come back. Leave your book out because we'll try to do get a little bit further before we leave this today. Okay? So go ahead and mask up, line up.